Imagine this, you own a property and your tenants haven't paid rent for months. They've ignored every attempt to reach them, and after battling through the courts, you finally got a possession order telling them to leave. But instead of packing their bags, they stay. Why? Because the council told them to. And this isn't even rare. In fact, landlords are losing an average of 9k per eviction thanks to this disgraceful council policy. A policy that directly encourages tenants to break the law. Councils are actively telling tenants to ignore legal eviction notices and to stay put until bailiffs physically remove them. This is a deliberate strategy to dump the problem onto the landlords rather than fixing the broken social housing system. So today I'm exposing how councils are manipulating the system to shift blame, why this policy is a complete disaster, what laws need to change to protect landlords, and how you can fight back if you're fed up with councils getting away with this. If this is something you're interested in, do me a favour, hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into it. Section 1. Councils are telling tenants to break the law. Let's be absolutely clear here. This is not a misunderstanding or a mistake. Councils know exactly what they're doing, and they've institutionalized this corrupt practice. Take this direct quote from a UK council's housing department. We always advise tenants to remain in the property until a bailiff's warrant. Let's translate that. Ignore the landlord, ignore the court, and stay put. We don't care if this ruins the landlord financially, or even we're going to make landlords suffer, just so we don't have to take responsibility. This isn't guidance, it's a council-endorsed loophole to force landlords to shoulder the cost of the UK housing crisis. And what happens next? The council sit back for months while the landlord bleeds money, loses rental income, racks up legal fees, and deals with a squatter who is now legally untouchable until the bailiffs show up. Section 2. The brutal reality for landlords. Councils act like landlords are greedy investors, but the truth is, most landlords are ordinary people who rely on rental income to pay their mortgage, their bills, and survive. Yet councils destroy their finances with this broken system. Landlords suffer massive financial losses. Evictions drag on for 7 to 12 months, costing landlords anywhere between 7 to 15k in lost rent. Legal fees, property damage, and council tax bills all add thousands more. There's also the mental and emotional toll. It's not just money, it's the stress and the anxiety of watching your property get abused while you're legally powerless to act. Many landlords sell up just to escape the nightmare. Landlords are selling up, making renting worse. A broken system drives landlords out of the market, reducing supply and pushing rents higher for everyone. The same councils causing this crisis are then complaining about the lack of housing. Section 3. Why are councils doing this? So why are councils deliberately encouraging tenants to break the law? Well, it's simple. They don't want to provide the housing. Under the Housing Act 1996, councils must help people who become homeless through no fault of their own. But here's the trick. If a tenant leaves after getting a Section 21 or Section 8 notice, councils can say they made themselves intentionally homeless and refuse to help. If the tenant ignores the notice and waits for bailiffs, councils are legally forced to intervene. This means councils are deliberately turning landlords into free emergency housing providers, forcing them to cover the costs of the broken system. The councils don't care that the landlords are losing thousands, they don't care that the property is being damaged, they don't care that the legal process is being abused. All they care about is keeping people off the homelessness statistics for as long as possible. Section 4. How this policy is wrecking the rental market. This council manipulation is destroying the private rental sector, and here's why. Landlords are leaving the market. More and more landlords are selling up because of how stacked the system is against them. Rents are skyrocketing. With fewer rental properties available, demand is outpacing supply, forcing rents even higher. Tenants are suffering. Councils act like they're helping, but all they're doing is pushing rents up and reducing housing availability. Landlords are being financially ruined. A single bad tenant, backed by council manipulation, can leave a landlord tens of thousands of pounds out of pocket. The worst part? This benefits absolutely no one except the councils. Section 5. Is this even legal? So, are councils breaking the law? No, but they are exploiting a loophole. Are tenants breaking the law? Not technically, but they are disregarding a court order, which undermines the legal process. Once a court issues a possession order, tenants are legally required to leave. However, failing to comply isn't a criminal offence, it's a civil matter. That's why councils tell tenants to ignore it, knowing there are no real consequences. The landlord is forced to wait months for bailiffs, losing thousands in the process, while the council does absolutely nothing. This isn't justice, it's exploitation. Section 6. What needs to change? The UK government must step in to end this blatant abuse, and here's what needs to change immediately. Make it illegal for councils to advise tenants to ignore eviction notices. Fast-track bailiff evictions for landlords facing council interference. Introduce penalties for tenants who ignore court orders. Force councils to provide emergency housing immediately, instead of dumping the problem on landlords. Reform the eviction process to protect landlords from financial ruin. Landlords should not be treated like unpaid social housing providers just because councils can't be bothered to do their jobs. If the government is serious about fixing the housing crisis, this needs to stop now. Section 7. How landlords can fight back. If you're a landlord dealing with this nightmare, here's how to fight back. Push back against councils. Demand written confirmation of their advice and challenge it. Use rent guarantee insurance. It won't fix everything, but it'll stop the worst financial losses. Take immediate action. Don't wait for councils to delay the process. Start eviction proceedings as early as possible. Expose the council's behaviour. If your council is pulling this stunt, go public. Local media love stories about council incompetence. Join a landlord association. Landlord associations offer legal support and help campaign for change. The reality is, if landlords don't fight back, councils will keep getting away with it. This is a national scandal. Councils are actively telling tenants to break the law while landlords lose thousands and tenants end up in even worse situations. This needs to change. So, tell me in the comments, should councils be legally forced to stop this practice, or do you think they'll just keep dodging responsibility? If you're tired of the council screwing over landlords, do me a favour, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll catch you on the next one.